Yeah. Okay. Guys, today we are going to do with the joins, which is a pretty important one from the interview prospects. So, we are going to do with joins. See, as I told you yesterday, that there will be three ways to extract the data. Okay, three ways to extract the data. One is called as projection. Second one is called as selection, and third one is called as join. When you talk about the projection, guys, it is the means of extracting the data from the single table without any condition. Without any condition, you are going to extract all the data when you are dealing with this projection, guys. Okay, so this is the way you will be doing it. Like projection means you are going to do it. A simple example: select. Okay, select star from any name employee. This is called as projection. You are going to project all the data, whatever is there inside, without any condition. This is called as projection. Now the second way is called as selection. This when you extract the data, okay, you extract the data with the help of a condition. This is called as selection. So you have to select the data. You are going to display the selected data. For example, where I want all the EMP salary is greater than 30,000. Something like that. I want to see all the employees whose EMP salary is greater than 30,000. This is based on a particular condition. And again, how many tables? Only one table you are going to do it. Now, when it comes to the joins, guys, so you are going to join more than two table, okay, more than one table into, and you will combine the output of the more than one table, and you are going to give it as a single output. Like this. If you have a table over here, just imagine this is the table, and this table is about a table A. Now there is another table is table B. Okay. Now what you are going to do it is you are going to combine the details of two tables, and you are going to give it as an output as a single output, as if it's a single table, but the data internally will not stored in a single table. It is being done in a two different tables. This is what is called as a joins. Okay, now actually now, actually, whenever we are doing the joins, usually they will call it, usually the people in a speculation that, so you know this, what is RDBMS, guys? The data will be related, right? It is shown in a relational format. I will show you what is an RDBMS look like. Here there will be one data, guys, okay? A table, a part of the data. Second, here is the second part of the data. And here there will be a third part of the data. Okay, so usually what we will do it is, any object details are there, related information, we are going to split it into small chunks, and then we are going to put it in the different tables, and these tables are internally connected. That is, this connecting is called as, they are having a relationship. Okay, relationship. These are internally related. Now, if I take it, this is the table X, this is the table Y, and this is the table Z. So they will be establishing the relationship. Okay, this will be related, these two are related, and these two are related. Okay, so what is the advantage with the related means they are interdependent. Okay, they are interdependent. That is what is the meaning of relation. I'm going to explain you this one. So this is done with the help of primary key and foreign key over here. There are a concept called as primary key and foreign key. Using this primary key and foreign key, we are going to establish the relationship. Okay, and when there is a relationship is established, guys, they are interdependent. Okay, interdependent. So this table input will be dependent on this table input, will be dependent on this, like that. They will be interdependent. That is called as establishing of the relationship. Now usually, now when the people think that whenever we want to apply the joints over here, when we want to apply the joints, you should have the relationship between the tables. That is what the speculation or usually people will have it, but it is not required. Okay, in order to apply the joints, okay, there's a relationship is there, that is well and good, you can extract it, but without having relationship, that is primary key and foreign key, still we can apply the joints. So if it is having, there's no problem at all, you can easily extract it. Okay, but if you don't have it, how you will be extracting is, that is what we are going to see it now. Okay, without having any relationship, both are standalone tables, they are not having any dependency factor, still we are going to extract the data from the both the tables and we are going to show it. Okay, now now let's take it a simple example. Now I have it a table like, okay, before getting it like, okay, let me show you. Let me talk about these tables, guys. These tables are like, there are different types of tables are there. So let's talk about the tables. So types of joints. Types of joints. One is called as ANSI joint, guys. ANSI joints. And second one is called as non-ANSI joints. ANSI is American National Standard Institute is what it is. So ANSI joints and non-ANSI joints. So what is the difference between non-ANSI and ANSI joints is, ANSI joints will use the on keyword to join the two tables. Okay, it will use on keyword. Okay, on keyword to apply the joints, to implement the joints. Whereas this non-ANSI joints, okay, it will use where keyword to implement the joints. Implement joints. Okay, so one is ANSI joints, which is it will use on keyword it should be on keyword to implement the joints, and this one is where keyword. Now when you take non-ANSI joints, this is an old format, guys. This is the old version of the joints. Okay, you can say that old format joints. These are old format joints. Now when it comes to the ANSI joints, this is a new format joints. Now this is approved by the, you know, what you call it as American ANSI. Okay, because of that, this is applicable in all the SQL language, whichever the language is using the SQL, this can be used. This is the older version. This is the older version. Some will support, some will not support this one. This is further divided into weekly joints. Now, why I'm saying is we are not going to use it means at least you should know basic understanding. You should have it. If someone asks you in the interview, have you done the ANSI joints or non-ANSI joints? You will be a blank face. That will be like a fool. Okay, so I don't want. This is ANSI and non-ANSI, and in the ANSI we are having equi joints and non-equi joints. Now equi joints means whenever you use the is equals to sign to apply the joints. equal to sign. Equal to sign to apply the joints or to implement the joints. To implement joints with where keyword. Again, remember this, with where keyword it is. Okay? Now, there is something called as non-equijoins. Here, when we use without, like, apart from is equals to, whatever the conditional comparison operators are there, we will be using over here. Use like non is equals to, I will say, like for example, something like that. We use it greater than sign. We use the less than sign. We use the greater than is equals to, and less than is equals to. Now, this is not, don't consider this as is equals to this one. This is again a non-equijoin and not equal to. This all comes under the category of, non-equijoin, guys. So when we use these to implement, some more are there, points with their keyword. Okay, guys, this is an equijoin and non-equijoin. And there is one more is self-join inside this, that will come under the equijoin only. This is it is a different category. We will use it as self-join. Okay, self-join. We are going to see this. What is the self? We are not going to see this one, guys. These things are obsoleted. That is out of the scope. We don't need this. Okay. We are going to see the ANSI joins. More, we are going to concentrate on the ANSI joins. So whenever someone is asking you whether you have done some equijoins or non-equijoins or something like that to confuse you, please stick to this word, ANSI joins. Have implemented the ANSI joins, as they are older version. We never use the non-ANSI joins or equijoins or non-equijoins. Self-join we are going to see it. This is pretty important. Okay, self-join we are going to see it. Now, this is the only join which is applied on only one table. Okay, self-join is a one which is applied on only one table. Now, these all are the ones, ANSI, non-ANSI joins are usually applicable on more than one table. Remember that these are applicable on more than one table. Now, coming down to this one, what is what are the different types will be there? Here it will be like inner join, and outer join. It will be there. Okay. This inner join, we are having only one inner join. Okay, only one inner join will be there. Outer join are further divided into like left outer join and right outer join and full outer join. There's something like cross outer join is there. I don't know like whether SQL Server supports that or not, but these are the cases. Okay, now, this is, I don't think so, I have it in the PPT, so I made it over here. So the joins will be of two types, ANSI join and non-ANSI join. ANSI join, we use the on keyword. Non-ANSI join, we are going to use the where keyword. This is a older version and this is a new version, guys. New format joins which are approved by the American National Standard Institute. Okay, now this is further divided in equijoin, non-equijoin. Equijoin means whenever you are implementing the joins using is equals to. Whenever you are implementing the joins without using is equals to is called as non-equijoins. And self-join is the only join which is applied on single table. Okay, but we are going to make two versions of the single table and we are going to apply on that. Now, this is the one they will ask you all the time. Okay. Now, coming down to the ANSI joins, so inner join and outer join. Outer joins are further divided into three types: left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. Okay, this is the one. Now, let's see this one. This is here. I అలాంటి ఏంది ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది? Beautiful. Guys, can you hear me? ఏం రెస్పాన్స్ లేదంటే వాళ్ళకి ఇంకేట్లేదు. Yes. Okay. Thank you guys. ఏం చేసినాం? ఆన్ చేయాలన్నా? సో నెక్స్ట్ టైం చేసుకుంటాం. అందునుంచి ఆఫ్లైన్ రమ్మన్నది. ఇవన్నీ లొల్లి ఉంటుందని. ఇట్లా పెట్టుకుంటే నాకు ఇట్లా పెట్టుకుంటే తలనొప్పి వస్తుంది. Sorry guys, sorry for that. Now this is like, these are the 4 ANSI joints. We are not it the non-ANSI joints over here. Just I will share you this one so that it is used. Again, I strongly recommend there will be some interviewers. They will be directly say that the joints means yes, yes, I know the joints. The people who show the attitude, like the people who are coming for the interview, and they will be very proud saying that yeah, I can play with the joints. Then immediately to make them confused, will ask you, okay, you worked on non-equi joints or equi joints. They will not say ANSI, non-ANSI. They will say that which one you worked both, like on equi joints or non-equi joints. Then you should at least know that what is this equi joints and non-equi joints, right? That is an older version. Nowadays, no one will be using. So they will be saying, yeah, I work with equi joints, or blindly they will say something. So that will be a kind of a trap. So this is the way, guys. So whenever you are dealing with the ANSI joints, so ANSI joints are divided into 4 types. Okay, that is inner joint, like left outer joint and right outer joint. These are left joint, right joint comes under the category of outer joint. Now the full outer joint is this. Now let me show you. Let me explain you. By looking at this, you will not get it. So let me give you a small example over here. Like if I am having 2 tables, guys, I will take it 2 tables. One table I am having the, let's take it the Naresh ID itself. Like we are having the student details. So student details, what we'll be having? Like student ID will be there, and student name will be there, student education will be there, and student maybe और क्या रहेगा నాకు తెలిసి ఫీజు పే చేస్తారని అంత గుర్తు చేయ ఇంకేం ఉండవా మీకు ఏజ్ ఉందిగా ఒకటి స్టూడెంట్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అండ్ స్టూడెంట్ location and the course ID I will say that course ID. Okay, నిజం ముందు అడిగిన ఫోన్ నంబర్ కూడా పెట్టానా ఫోన్ నంబర్ email ID Aadhaar phone CID. Okay, phone number. Okay, now these are some of the details. Okay, with the student okay. Now this is one table. What table it is? Student table. It is completely student table. Okay. Next one is I will keep one more table which deals with, now for example, see this, I'm having maybe around 30 students are there. Just I'm giving it first student name. Okay. ID I gave it. Name is equals to something. And next is like education. Just imagine, guys, Hyderabad is a location. Phone number is like some number we will give it over here. Okay. And you know, this is what I gave it. And then what course you enrolled for? You enrolled for data science. Okay. Now, what is the duration of the course? Duration is 4 months. Okay. And what is the fees? Fees is 15,000. That's what you will be giving it, right? 15,000 over here. Okay. Now, this information is like, this information is extra I'm giving about the course duration, is 3 columns. Okay. Now let's take the second student. Second student I am going to take it 22 B, and he is MCA, and his location is maybe like Vizag. Okay. And his phone number is something. Again, he joined for some other course called as Java. And duration of the course is 3 months. And fees is maybe 10,000. Guys, now for each and every student, I have to enter these details, right? These details are common. These are specific. These are specific to the student. They won't be repeated. They won't be repeated. But these details are repeated. These details are repeated. Now, suppose if I am entering all here, now Java, there are 30 people are there. Data science, there are 30 people are there. Now, 30 people, these details will be definitely different. Definitely different, because the name may be same, their phone number will be different, their location may be different, their education may be different. So in this combination will be definitely different. This combination will be same. All the 30 students who are sitting in my class, maybe they will be having all of them like this. Data science 4 months, 15,000. Data science 4 months. How many times I have to enter? 30 times. And these people, there will be 30 more people are there. How many times I have to enter? 30 times. So instead of doing this 30 times, what I will do it is these things what are related to the course. How many courses will be there? Maximum maybe 10 courses will be there. I think so, maximum, right? 10 or 15 or 20 courses are there. 20 different courses, not more than that. Definitely not more. But how many students will be there in total? Hundreds and thousands of students will be there. So now for 1,000 people, you have to enter these things. Are maximum 10 courses. So what I will do it, these things I will keep it in a separate table. I will keep it in a separate table. What is that? I will do course ID. Course ID. And then I will give the course name. What is the name? Then I will give the duration of the course, okay? And fees, okay? Fees. Now this is the student, this is the common. This we have to do it. There's no other option for us. We have to do this because their location will be different, their phone number will be different, their education different, everything will be different. So you have to be doing this one, no doubt about that. 1,000 people are there, means you have to give 1,000 people details. Now when it comes to this one, all you will be keeping is just 5 or 10. Okay, let me do this. I will give it as 100 is a one course. I will give it as Python course. And duration is to 60 days. Let's make it as 60 days. And the fees is around 5,000. Okay. Now there is 200. I will give it as Java. And maybe this is also like maybe 75 days. I will give it. And those fees is around like 6,000. Okay. Now let's go with the data science. Okay. Data science. Now this one duration is like 120 days. Okay. Now, like what will be the fees? 50,000. Okay. Now there may be some other. Now I have maybe over here one student, first student, and then this is the first student, second student. I'm giving it student ID, guys. Just I'm giving the student ID 1 1 2 2. Okay. Then I will give it 3 3. Then 4 4. How many students are there? 4 students. Like this, we can have it multiple students, no doubt, like 5 5 6 6. Now all these 6 students. Just imagine, Naresh IT is providing only training for this. And how many students are there? 6 students. How many courses are there? 3 courses. Now, all these 6 students should fall in one of these courses, right? Definitely not. They have to enroll. They came to Naresh IT means they have to take one of these courses. Definitely it has to do it, right? So instead of writing it like this, what I will do it is, I will give the name. This is A, B, C, D, E, F, and some details. Here, I will give this course IDs over here. This course IDs. Now, the first person, maybe he joined for the Java. So, I will give it as 200 over here. Next person, he may have joined for the Python. I will give it 100. Next person, again, Java, 200. The third person, data science. Then Python, then data science. Okay. Now what I did it, I'm connecting this table with this table. This is not a, completely dependency. It is not a relationship. It is only there is some basic similarity is there. What is that similarity? This is having one column, which is, course ID. This is also having a similar column with the same data type. Same data type. This is also integer. This is also integer. This is holding the similar values. Similar values. It is not mandatory that I can't use it 400 over here. Even though there is no 400 is there. Now it is mandatory for me to use it. Now just think it. The CEO is coming. Naresh is coming to the Naresh IT. Which course he will put it on? He will not. He is not enrolled for any course, right? He may put it some number like here 999. That 99 may be not there in this course, right? There may be accounts department people are there. Account department people. They may not come under this course, right? Any of this course. The employees are there, the who maintain it. They will not come under any of this course. So what we will give it? We will give some unique name for them, 999, which says that they are not students. They are like they may be employees or something like that. Okay. That 99 is there over here. No, it is not there. It is not part of the course. Okay, clear, guys? Here, there may be some course over here like C, like maybe 400 or 400. I will give it for the C language. Now, is there any student is taking over here C? Is the course which is available with Naresh IT, but no one is taking it. There are some entries over here in this table who are not the students who are not considered with any of the course. Okay. So there is some mismatching is there. There is some mismatching is there. This is possible when there is no relationship. If there is relationship, then these things, non-course details, these are like if there is a proper relationship there with the primary key and foreign key. Here this is this and related. So what will happen, whatever the values are there inside this, only they have to be entered over here. That is the limitation. Now there is no limitation, so we can enter any value over here. Okay, any value over here. So this, what we will do it is, we are going to, when we do the joins, so first if I do it inner join, just take it as inner join. If I am doing it as inner join is nothing but the intersection. Now, inner join means it will take all the records from the student table, which are having the similar course ID as that of this one. Okay, the inner join is nothing but it will give all the student details who are having the same course ID as that of this course table. So it will give us the combined both of them. Like it will give the first 6 tables or first 6 columns, 5 columns, whatever is there, 5 rows, whatever is there, 5 rows data will be given because they are registered with these courses which are there in the course table. So in the combination, it is going to give it whichever the student, all the student details who are registered with the existing courses will only get it. Non-existing courses means the employees is having 999 ID. Those details will not be getting. Now here there is one more course is there, C. That course is no one enrolled. Details you are not going to get it. So whichever is matching the student who has taken the course which is available in our tables data or course data, only those details will be given to us. Okay. Now when I say that left outer join, so this is usually called as left join also. Left outer join means this is left concentrated, left centric. Now this is my left side table, the student table is my left side table. Now this one is course table, is my right side table. If you course table is a right side table. So what it is going to do it is going to print all the values, whatever is there in the left side table. It will give you all the values. But from the right side table, only the values which are matching with the students, only that values will be given. Only that course details will be given. Now you may ask me, now these people, the last one who is having the 99, are not having anything over here, but they will be getting null. Okay, they will be getting null. So it will give you all the records from the left, because it's a left center. That means it is left center. Priority will be on the left side table. So all the records it will print it, and from the right side only the matching course value details will be given to you. Okay, because what are the course matching is there? Python details will be provided, and Java details will be provided, and data science details will be provided. Okay, now when I say that right outer join, so again it's a right centric data, it is right centric table, so it will give you all the course details which are present on the right side. Irrespective of left side, it will present all the course details of the right side, and left side, whoever is taken, only those course details for those student records will be present, which are matching with the course ID. Okay, all the course details it will give out, guys. Python, Java, data science, and C it will be given. But whoever is using only these courses, those details will be extracted from the left table. That is, whoever is taken the 100, 200, and 300. There are people taken 99. They belongs to employee. They will not be displayed. Now you may ask me, there C is there. C is not there anywhere. Now C will be displayed means yes, C will be displayed. All the records from the right side will be displayed. But connecting to the left side, joining towards left side, you will get the null value. Okay? Now there is a full join. Outer join. Full outer join is nothing but it is going to get all the data from the left side table and all the data from the right side table, and which are matching will be matched up with the course IDs, and which are not matching, they are going to give us with the null. Okay, that is how it will be displayed. Clear, guys? Now we are going to do this one quickly. Any number you can, there's no limit is there. Any number. As we move forward deeper and deeper, you will be getting more and more confused with the joins. That's why the nested joins are very, very difficult. The people will be leaving their jobs because of that scariness of the nested joins. Usually with the SAS, when you go with the SAS, they will be using a lot of these joins over there. Now, let me create a table, guys. Create a table. Which one we are in the master? So let me create a database. Create database of student. Okay, student database I created. And then what we have to do? Use student database. Created. Completed. So you have to see, means you have to give the refresh over here. Now in this, I'm going to create a student table, guys. Student table. Like create a table student. Okay, std table I will give it. And next, create the schema structure. Student ID is in. Okay, student name. We are going to get varchar max. I'll give it comma, and next I will give the comma. Then what we have it, student education, right? Education varchar max, and then we will give it like student course ID. I'm not giving location also. I will give it student location varchar max, and then we are going to give it course ID. Course ID is I'm giving it as int. Now this is a standalone table. This is a standalone table. We are not. This is completely not dependent or not related to anyone. How you create this table? Now we want to insert the table data into the table. Insert into std table and values. First is 1. Let me give it as A, and next one is B, right? Now then location HYD and ID. ID I will, okay, before doing this ID I have to create it some ID over here. That table, this table we have to create it. This table is mandatory for us. First I have to create that. Let me create it. It's not that I can't do it. I can give it with the same names, 100, 200 or something like that. I can do it. Okay? I will give it like 100 or something. 100 means Python. Okay, we will create a of that type later on. I'll copy this and I will paste it. Let me change it. This one I will give it as 2 and B, and here I will give it the B tech, and this I will give it as and 200. And next one is I'll give it as B, C, and here I will give it as tech from Hyderabad and Python. Now one more guy, I will take it as 44. He's TA, and we are going to give it as like 300. Okay, these are the 4 I give it. I'm going to enter a few more. Now I will give it. I've done a mistake. Now you can see this. We are having some data in that. Select star from std table. Okay, std table. Now I got it. Okay, yeah. Now, in this, I'm going to create a one more table. That is nothing but create table with a course table. So C table I will give. C table is course table. Now inside this, I'm going to give it as first one is course ID, and this is an int. Yes, this one and this one ID should be same data type. Name is different, that is okay. But this one and this one, the ID, the data type should be same. Okay. Then I will give the course name. C name is varchar max. Okay. Now there is the next one, course duration. C duration. I'll keep it as, again it is an int. Now next is C fees, course fees. I'll give it as money. Okay. Now I will do it. This is the course table. Successfully done. Now this course and the structure of, now if you see this, how to see the structure, guys? Huh? Of std table and sp underscore help of c table. So when we do this, we are going to get the structure of the both the tables. So let me do this one first. Std table, right? Now this is having a structure over here. Can you see the structure? This is the common column to which we are going to connect. Now there is one more table is there, that is, if you see this is the structure. Again, here you see this is, these two we are going to connect it. If you take it out over here, these two, this one and this one are the two columns through which we are going to connect it. Again, guys, is there any relationship between these two? Is there any relationship between these two? I told you how to establish the relationship. How to establish the relationship between two tables? Primary key and the foreign key. Did I give any primary key and foreign key? No, both are standalone tables. And it is only the what is the common thing, what is having that one common column. Okay, they are not dependent on each other. Now student table can enter whatever details they wanted, and the course table can enter whatever details they wanted. Okay, so let me do that one. Now that is what is, now once the relationship is established, that cannot be done. Okay, that cannot be done. Now here I will give it as, I will enter the data into this, guys. Let me directly enter it. Student table, I will enter it over here. Now this I will give it as 100, and I will say that Python duration is 60 days, right? And fees is 5,000. And this one is 200 Java, and here I will give it as 75 days, and course is like around 6,000, and 300 is data science. And here I will say that 120 days, and the fees is 15,000. Now next one is like 400. I'll give it as Selenium, and duration is maybe 40 days. 40 days is 45 days. Now the fees is 5,000, and there is a 500 is there. The C programming is there, C and C++. This is only 30 days. The fees is maybe 2,000. Okay. Now is there anything is missing? Okay, let's, okay, 5 is okay for us. Now let's go to the student. Okay, in this I want to enter some more. We are having 4 students. Now I will give it as 5, and E, and he may be like B.Tech and maybe Vizag, and he's doing 3. Now like 6, F and BSc, and here maybe Hyderabad, and they are taking around like Python. Just say that Python is 100. So like this I have given. Now some employees I am going to give it. Now 7, I will say that G and the B, they may be B, and they are currently in Hyderabad. Sorry for this. Currently in Hyderabad, and they belongs to employee. Employee, I am giving it as 999. Can I give it like this? Yes, because this is a standalone table. It is nowhere related to any other table. It is a standalone table. Now I will give it one more 8 and GH and MCA and Hyderabad and 999. Okay, guys. Now there are 2 tables are there now very clearly. Now let's see their data. Select star from a C table. These are the course. Select star from a student STD table over here. Both I am doing it. Let me do this. Okay. Now see this. This guy, the first guy, is taking the course inside this. Yes or no? Yes. Second guy, yes. Third guy, yes. All the 6 guys are taking the course which are available inside our course table, right? Now they are matching these 6 records. The 6 students are taking the courses which are available in our list. They are matching both. So when I say inner join, means it is going to give us the data from the student table who are taking the relevant courses which are available in our course list. Now, what are the details which will not be present in that? 7, D and H, who are the employees, those details will not be present because they are not taking the course which are available. So who are the students who are taking the courses which are available in the student course table, only those data will be coming out, guys. That is where it will be done. Now, if you see the syntax over here, inner join, this is the inner join. Yeah, inner join. See, first you will be taking the what columns you want. I want all the columns. And then from which table? What is the left side table? Is table 1. Left side is student table. And join, inner join. When you say that join is nothing but the inner join, you have to give it over here. Inner join over here. Inner join and give the next table name. What is the next table? Course table, C table. Left side will be the student table. Right side will be the course table. And on, see the condition, guys. On what basis you are going to extract the data? Based on the, what is the common column? Course ID. So both are having the course ID, right? Both are having the course ID. Now you can't give it course ID is equals to course ID. You have to say that left side course ID belongs to which table? That is table name dot course ID is equals to table name dot course ID. Then it is going to match you. Okay, that is the way you have to give it. So this is like, you know, let me do this. Okay, guys. So let me do this. So my left side table is, I'm taking it as left side table. I will take it as student table. Okay, STD table. Right side table. I'm going to take it as. What is a common column present in this both? CID and here CID. Okay, guys. Here. Now let's join them. How you will do this? Simply, how you will extract the data using the select statement. Select star all the records. I want all the records. Star from where? Left side table. What is the left side table? Student table. Inner join with what? C table. On what basis you want to extract it? On what basis? So on CID is equals to CID. Now this CID is from where? First CID is from. So add the name of the student table dot. Okay. Now this one C table dot CID. Right, guys? This is the way you will perform the join. Okay? This is the way. Now you will do a semicolon, or you don't. Doesn't make it should work for me. Yes, I got it. Now, if you want to see this one and this one second, this one also, then you will get it a better idea. I'm executing all the three, guys. So you will get a 3 outputs over here. Can you see this? 3 outputs we got it. First one is the course ID. Okay. Second one is the student ID. And then this is the inner join. Now see the inner join, what we got it. We got only 6 records. What are the records which are missing? D and H. Why? Because their course ID is not mentioned or not matching with the available course IDs in our course table. That is the reason why we are getting only. Now there are 2 more course IDs are there over here. What is that? 400 and 500. What is that? Selenium and C. This is not been mentioned over here. You see, first student is, now this looks like completely extracting from a one particular table, but how many tables we are extracting? 2 tables. Now you see this. Now this is all the student details, and this is a course details. Right? This is a student details, and this is a course details. So you are getting all the details, but how many times the course details are there? Only one time we mentioned it. But how many times we are displaying? 6 times we are displaying based on. For 100 students only this 6 course details only you will be using it. Now you are matching it over here. Now the student who is not having this one is like 7 and 8 are the ones who are not having 100, and 100 is the first one. A is taking, C is taking, and F is also taking. Now Java is 2 and data science is 2. Again, Java is 1 and data science is 2. This is the way it will be presenting. So it is going to give the matching records of the left side table with the same matching records of the right side table based on that particular column. Whatever the column we are giving, that is what it will happen. Okay, guys. Okay. Now, let's see the left join. Sorry, left join is a one. See, this is the way you will be getting it, guys. Now, if you check it out, this is the table 1. You are having the table 1, and this is the table 2. Whichever is matching. Now, intersection you can't take it. Matching the common column records, common values. Only those records you are going to get. Non-matching records you will not be getting. So whatever the common column you are using is CID. CID of the table, whatever is mentioned, the code should be matching with the CID of the C table, student table, and the C table should be matching. Then only we are going to. Now this is the left join. Okay, this is the left join. What do you mean by left join? Is I said you left join is left centric. Left centric means it will give the priority to the left side table. Now in this, what is our left side table? I told you over here, left side table is student table, right? Student table is a left side table. Now this left side table will be, we will present all the records from the left side table, and only the matching like course IDs will be presented from the right side table, not all the records from the right side table. Okay, only matching course IDs will be presented to you. How you will do that? Again, select star from STD table and left join C table. No need of using the outer. On STD table dot CID is equals to the C table of CID. Okay, C table of STD of CID and this one. See, every time writing this table name will be a painful process, so we can do an alias name. Here we'll give an alias name as C, and here or S. See this, I can give it yes, and this one I'll give it as C. Now instead of this place, I'll give it as S, and instead of this, I'll give it as C. Okay, now you see this. So you no need to give the complete name of the table. You can give it, this is an alias name. This is an alias keyword is also there in the SQL. Now that you can check. Now I will run it, guys. Now you will be getting it. Now it displayed all the details of the students, all the details of the students. Oh, even 7 and 8, which are not having any matching course ID in the course table, right? But whoever is having the same course IDs, like course IDs as that of the course ID of the course table, only those details are presented from the course table, guys. And these two are the ones which are not belongs to the course table. So what we got it? Null value. Okay? Null value. So again, it will get all the records from the left side table, only the course ID matching records, matching information from the right side table. Okay, right side table. So it is a left centric table. If you take it up, if you do it both, you can do all the four also at a time to understand. This is your course table, and this is your student table. Now in this, what it was doing, only the matching records was being given to us. Whichever is matching the course ID, that one was given. Now see this one down. As you go down, you will be seeing it. Now you got all the course, all the student details over here. Student details you got it. All the 8 student details you got it. And only the students whose course ID is matching with the course table course ID, only that course information we got. And the people whose course ID is not available in the course ID of course table, is we are getting it as null over here. Okay, guys, just try to understand this. You will get all the records from the left side and only matching records, matching information from the right side table. Okay, this is what it will happen. The next one is called as right join. Okay? Next one is called as right join. Again, this is a right centric. Okay, this is a right centric. That means it will provide all the details of the right side table, all the records, all the course details of the right side table, and only the students who have taken the relevant courses, only those two student details will be presented from the student table. And the students who are not taken, you will be getting it as null. Okay, now you take it here. Here we got the output. So it will present all the 5 courses or 6 courses, whatever we have it over here. How many courses we have it? Like 6 courses. Yes, we are having like 5 courses we are having over here. All the 5 course details you are going to do it. And whoever has taken the Python, only those details will be presented on from the right side. And whoever is taken Java, whoever is taken data science, these two are not being considered by any of the student, right? This information will also be presented because this is a right centric. This information will also be presented, but based on this course IDs, no student is available. So you will be getting it as null over there. Null over there. Just reverse of this. Just reverse of this you will be getting. You will get all the course details, and only the students who are acquired that course, those details will be there. And the students who are not acquired the courses, they will be getting it, null over there. See this? I will give it as in like select star from std table s is this right join c table of c table of c on is equals to c by ci. Okay, So you see this, you got all the information of the course IDs, guys. Can you see this? All the information of the course IDs. All. See, Python, 3 people were took it, so it gave the three times. And Java, 1 person, these 2 people are taken 2 times. Now this one, Selenium, none of them took it. So we got it what? Null from the student table, null. And C is we got it null over here. Okay, guys? Something like this. Selenium and C as no one has acquired it, so you got it null over here. Okay, this will acquire all the information from the right side table, and whoever student is taking the are enrolled for that course, only those details you will be getting. The courses which are not enrolled by any students, you will get it as null over there. Okay, now there is something called as full join, right? Select star from std table as full outer join. You can use it, or full join. I'm not sure about on s.cid is equals to c.cid. Okay? Now if I run it, I'll get all. I should get it. Maybe if I it's working. Now this will get you all the records from the left side table. Now you see this, all the records from the left side table. Okay, and you know which are matching over here. I got only that course IDs, and the students who are not taken the non-matching course IDs, then you are getting null over here. Can you see it? Null. Yes. Now here there are some course IDs being not acquired by any of the students. Under that, we are getting a null over here. Under the student section, you are getting null over there. So this is the way it will get all the details from the left side table, all the details from the right side table, and non-matching will be getting null over here. Just remember that. There is a cross match is there. I don't know this is there. But, let me write out the SQL or not. Student table as cross join. See, and I will give it as on s.cid is equals to c.cid. Okay, when I do this, it is giving us an error. I give it any mistake. It's not working. Can I use the where? Let me try it out. No, it should not be the output, guys. I don't know, like cross join. I don't know whether it is there with the it's supported with this one, but it is there with the MySQL. So what it will do is like it will take each record, and it will print all the for each record. It will give each and every record from the right side table. Left side each record, you will be getting right side table outer records. So I don't know, like if I missed it or something outer, not where, it is not where. One. Huh? Support some of them are not supporting. Let's see this. Let me get this one, guys. Okay, this is again I still told you, right? So if you having a 2 tables over here, let me get it over here only. Usually I don't know like why we are this is not supporting. I think so that is completely we will not use it anywhere. So yes, what it will do is like left side table, what is there? This is the guy, right? This is the guy who is there on the left side. For each student, you will be getting the 5 whatever the course details are there, it will be printed for each student. Okay, so this student will be printed 5 times for each and every course. then this student will be printed 5 times for each and every course, and this student will be printed 5 times the each and every student. So total number will be like 8 into 5. Total you will get it 40 entries. 40 entries you are going to get it. But I don't think so. This is supporting that. It is obsolete. I think so. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe my syntax may be wrong. Okay. Now this is not there. Now guys, next one is primary key and foreign key. Now let me finish it off this one. Let's do the views. Views is much, it's a smaller one. We can finish it off quickly. And then we can talk about the primary key and foreign key. There is something called as view. So this is actually, it's an instance of the original table. Original instance means like it is a virtual existence of the original table. So it is a virtual instance of the original table. I can say that virtual instance of the original table, you can say that. Okay, this is, you know, you will be having a copy. You can give a name to that of an original table. Now, if you don't want to give the original table, then you will be using. Now, this, in order to create it, I will show you what is the exact use. In order to create it, we are going to use the create keyword. You know, that create view and view name. We are going to give the view name as. This is the set you will be having as. And then under this, we are going to give it whatever we want to give it, get it over here. So actually, these views will be two types. One is view which is created from a single table, which is editable, which is can be updatable. You can say it, you can change that. Now, I'll show you one thing. First, let me show you how a view looks like. Then you will understand actually what it is view. So this is now select star from we are given is student table, right? This is the actual, you know, table. Now, because of some reasons, you don't want to give this information to the opposite person. Maybe you don't want to give that one. So what you will do it is you will create a virtual instance of this table. Virtual instance means you will create a view. This view means you will give an only a presence, like only a virtual view of the original table. Now, how I'll do it is create view name. Any name you can give it. Like I will give it as it's a student view, right? SV1, student view 1. I will give it. Now here I will use it as. Okay? This you can use it here also. I'm using it so that it is clear. Now next I will give it as select star from student table. Student table. Now what will happen is whatever the output is coming up over here, that will be given a name as SV1. Okay, SV1 we will be giving it. Now let me run it. Now command is executed successfully. Now next time, now I will say to the person that the data is there in SV1. SV1. Now if I give this SV1, if you want to see the data, I will do it. Select star from SV1. Now what I'm doing over here, I'm hiding the table name. I'm hiding the table name. This is called as, you know, updatable view. Updatable view. So this updatable view is nothing but a view which is created from a single table is called as a updatable view. Means why it is called an updatable view means whatever the DML operations we perform on this view, that will affect my original table. That will affect my original table. What are the DML operations? DML is insert, update, and delete. Whatever these are there, when whatever the these DML operations we want to perform it on the view, that will directly affect your original DB. So that is what is called as an updatable view. Next one is called as non. Views are two types. Non-updatable view. Now, updatable view is created from a single table. Operations are applicable. Okay. Now, next one is non-updatable view. This view is created from the multiple tables. Okay. Not applicable. This is what it will be coming up over here. Updatable view and non-updatable view. Okay. Now there is another name is there for this. This is called as simple view, and this is also called as complex view. So there's another name is also there. Simple view and the complex view. Okay, guys. Now the simple view we will be giving it create view. Now you got an idea, right? What is view now? This is a virtual instance of the original table, but most of the time the view is used for this purpose. What is this is now if you are using a joint, you will be doing a lot of complicated stuff on the joints, right? So for that joints results, we will give a name to that. Okay, we will give a name to that, and every time whenever we are using it, you will be getting it the joints results only. Just give the select star from view, then automatically you will get the same results whatever you wanted, whatever you created using the joints. No need of giving joints each and every time. Now there will be a lot of complicated stuff will be there giving the joints. So you can directly give a view to that joint, and you will be using that joint view every time for the joints results. Now here as you will give the query. Now again, this is specially used with select statement, guys. I think the this is not having that. I tried it a couple of times. Again, there is a replace will be there. If I want to replace the view with the existing view, I want to replace with the some other things. So that is not, that option will be not there over here. So you have to delete that view and create another view with the same name, and you can drop the view also. Okay, we can drop that view. Now there will be a complex view, guys. Okay, complex view is again create view and view name. View name, and here as now here you can use it the select statement with where you can extract the data from the multiple tables, like select statement with set operator. That operator will extract the data from multiple tables, right? And you can also use it or I'll write it or select statement joins. Select statement with joins. These are the two things you can do over here. Guys, now let me Let me do this one. Okay, let me do the update over here. Then we will move on to next. So I want to do any deletion over here. I want to delete this person from the view. From the view, I want to delete it. So okay, let me insert it first. Like I will directly insert a value over here. Normally, we can, or let's delete it. Delete from which one it is? SV1, right? SV1, where std id is equals to 88. Now this is one of the DML operations. I'm trying to do it in a simple view. Now once I run this one, you will be getting it. One row is deleted. Now if you see in the view, you will be not finding that. But this is a permanent change. This is a permanent change. So this is affecting our original table also. Select star from std table. Now you can see this. This will be there. This will be deleted from there directly. Okay? The same way. So if you want to insert something, how you insert into the table? The same way, guys. Insert into SV1. Okay. Now values, what are there? Like 8, and I will give it as here HH. And what is next? Education. Let me give it as MS. And location is and I'm going to give it like maybe 300 over here. Now see this, let's see this is a different one, H and MS Vizag. Now, or let me give it over here, ZZ. One row is affected. Now I'm doing on the view, remember this, I'm doing on the view. When I want to take it out over the view, select star from SV1, then you will be getting the data over here. That person Z will be there inside this. But when you see the original one, there also you can find it over here. Z is there. So whenever there is a simple view is there, so that on that simple view you can apply all the DML operations. So you can update the values. You can update. That is why it is called as updatable view. Now there is like you have done it, update and delete, the same thing. There's a complex view will be there, guys. Now complex view is select star from std table as S inner join. Okay? Inner join and C table of C on S.CID is equals to C.CID, right? Yeah. Now let me run this. I'm getting some output over here, right? I got some output. For this, I will create a view. Okay, I will create a view. I will create view as create view name student inner join. Okay, inner join over here. Inner join. Okay, view student inner join view. I will give it student view. I will just like this. Now as I will give it as this one. I will. Now for this, whatever I am giving it, I am saying that I wanted this view name. Now I will again, guys. You may have some doubt that okay, double time we are getting it. So just give the column names over here. Simple. Give the column names. You will get all the column names. Okay. Just give the column names. You will get all the column names. So I will do this. Column names of each view, or it's saying that duplicate column names are there. CID in view or function S2 is specified more than once. So let me remove this. Okay. It's saying that duplicate columns are there, just as I was saying it. Now you can see this. The CID is there. what it is a problem over here. Let me remove this. I'll give it as std id and std name and std education, not made of education, loc, and c name and c duration. We don't want the c duration. Yeah, c duration. And fees we don't want. Just I want to keep it only this one. See if I get the output. Yeah, I got the output for this. I'm creating a view over here. I got it, the view. Now s underscore view select star from s underscore view. Now once you do this, you are going to get this output. Clear, guys? Now no need to use it each and every time. Join statement, no need. Now this is quite a complicated one, right? Every time using it. Now this is a very simple join, guys. Again, I'm saying it. You can use the nested joins and multi-level joins also. It will be going on and on and on, and you will create a function of that using the stored procedure, and you can call it whenever you wanted that join. There is so much flexibility. You can literally write the program over here. Okay, so you can keep that all the joins, how you pass on the variable to the functions. The same way you can pass on the variable inside the stored procedure. Stored procedure is nothing but the functions, guys. Okay. Now you can create a block with all these nested joins, and you can play with that if you want to become a database developer. Now, this is more than enough for you to deal with your whatever so-called as your job in the developer side. Okay. Now in this, if you do it, now no need of giving. Now if you give it to someone else, he will not even understand that this is a view. No way, he will not even understand. He will say that this is a table, is having everything like this. He can apply all the things. He wanted to see where course ID is, sorry, course duration. Duration is equals to, I will give it as course duration is equals to, I will say that 60 days. So this will work. All the things it will work as that of. See, so no need of doing all the time this joins and all those things. You review, and this is where very effective. The problem is now if someone want to insert it using the view, the view will be having a limited source, only view it is. So he don't know that how many tables the data has been extracted from, right? So, and how many remaining tables are there. Now, if I want to insert something or I want to delete something, just see this, delete from where s view, where I will give it as std id is equals to 66. I want to remove this guy. Now I want to perform the delete over here. So this is not applicable for us. Delete. Delete. Now if you do this, it is not applicable. Can you see this? View or function is not updatable. Can you see this? It is not updatable because the modification affects the multiple base tables. So it's multiple tables are there, because of that it is not being possible for us. You can't insert, you can't delete, you can't update it. Okay. Now this is all about the views. There's only one topic is left out, that is called as primary key, foreign key, and connecting to this thing. We will do it tomorrow. We'll finish it off tomorrow quickly in the first 1 hour, and then we will jump to the NumPy. Okay, guys? Degree చేయదలుచుకోలేదు. ఎవరైనా కావాలంటే చెప్తుండు help. If you want, you can take the help. No, I don't want to do it, because I literally చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే దీని తర్వాత తీసుకున్నాను అనుకో, in the middle of data science, if I take it, you will lose the interest completely. That's why I'm removing this. This is one of the poorest topics. Wait, Hassan, I read your message. I will upload the PPT once completed, right? Everything is completed. I will upload your PPT. Okay. I'm stopping it. I'm ending the class. I'm ending the class, guys. Thank you very much.